Is love ever easy? Hey guys, this is Andy with Mindset Matters More, and today we're going to talk about what does love actually mean. I'm going to define it. I'm going to tell you what it is. I'm going to make sure that you feel the same way that I do, and in that you will find love for the rest of your life. Actually, I'm confronted lately with making a hard choice for somebody I love. Now, I don't want to put anybody's business out there, so I'm not going to get into too many details. But needless to say, I have to make a hard choice about how to love this person. You know, it's easy to look at movies and see how, you know, love is like hearts and flowers and vacations and smoochy poos on the face. Like, that's a part of it. But what about when the other person is in pain? What about when the other person is struggling? What about love when you have to be hard with somebody? Like, I used to read this book called The Sutras of Yoga. I, you know what? That's not even the name of it. The Yoga Sutras. And in it, one of the examples that they give is, with a child, when you have to make hard decisions, when you have to deny them that piece of candy, when you have to correct their behavior because what they said was rude, or you have to punish them because, or whatever the case may be, where you have to be hard in order to produce a greater good effect, right? Sometimes, you can't be there for somebody. Maybe you have to love somebody from a distance. Maybe you have to let them go. Maybe you have to, you know, especially when you're dealing with addiction, like you have to distance yourself. I've been a part of a group for a long time that has to do with family members of addicts. And in that, it's called detaching with love. And it's really hard because you don't want people to suffer. You don't want people to feel pain. You feel like, hey, I can cushion the blow, I can save you from that. But all you're doing is really delaying the inevitable because pain is always going to happen, consequences are always going to happen. And you can't prevent it. You can delay them. You can draw them out so that instead of a 1 day, you know, instead of it being just like a one and done sort of punishment, it's all of a sudden dragged out to weeks and months because you're like helping, right? So when is it you're like, when do you have to stay in your lane? When do you have to just like mind your business and shut the fuck up and just let them fail? Like, it's so hard because they tell you, hey, I need your help. You're like, yes, I can help, but you're enabling them. How do you know when it is that like you have to let go? When is it that line of demarcation between I'm helping you to help you versus I'm helping you to prevent myself from feeling the pain of you having consequences? That's hard because we feel like love is giving everything that you have, but as I'm learning, that's not the case. You're just delaying the inevitable, and it's painful. It's painful to watch people suffer. It's painful to watch people have consequences. And I'm confronted with, what do I do? How can I not feel this? How can I come from a place of love and compassion when I can't do anything? And that's the question of a lifetime. That's the question of everyone's lifetime is, what is love? What does it mean to love somebody in the face of pain, in the face of consequences, and in the face of punishment? What does it mean? How do you define it? How do you figure that shit out? I've spent many nights crying about this just asking for a fucking answer, just asking for like a sign that I'm doing the right thing. Because I don't want there to be a situation where I could have done something and I didn't. Where if I could have just helped one more time, it would have changed the outcome. And not for my sake, like just fuck me, but it's for the other person's sake. What if I could have actually helped them to better days? And I didn't because I thought it would be better that they fell on their face and did it on their own. It's a nasty problem to have. It's a conundrum. It's an enigma wrapped in a problem, wrapped in a puzzle to figure out how to love somebody in the best way possible so that they can get the help they need. Because obviously, or maybe not obviously to me, that my help ain't it. And to let go means to trust in a greater universe, means to trust that something bigger, that there's a bigger plan, that there is a better outcome that I have no part in. It means to trust that God, the universe, or however you call them, has best interests of everybody at heart. What are the best interests? That I don't feel pain because they're in pain, that they don't feel pain, that they don't, have to go through it anymore. I mean, that would be selfish for me to be like, yeah, that's the only possible outcome where I'm like okay with God intervening, is that if it suits my needs, if it suits this person's needs, where everything is hearts and flowers and smoochy poos. Like, but what if the pain and the suffering is the only outcome? And even if I do help, even if I don't help, what if that is the only path forward? I know this was a deep one today, guys. I'm going through it and I'm praying for guidance because that's all I can do at this point. I don't have the answers. And I think when I sit here and try to figure shit out, like, oh, we have to find an answer right now, I'm always left with consequence. But I'm taking a moment to just, let things kind of unfold and be of service where I can be. And just, yeah, that's where I'm at. Okay, guys, let me know, what do you think? What does it mean to love somebody or detach with love? What do you think that means? Hit me up. Let me know. Okay? Love you guys. Bye.